This one universal law stops you from changing. I know you want to change, you want to get better, you want to dream life, you have a desired reality in your mind, and you might have watched plenty of podcasts, videos, you might have even read some self-help books. But some way or the other, you get into this phase where you have so much knowledge, so much information, but you are unable to process it. You are unable to use it as a very curated solution so that you will be able to change the way you are and the experiences that you have in your life and the things that are around you. So in this video, I'll be talking about one universal law that is stopping you from manifesting or creating this desired reality of yours, the people around you, the things around you, the experiences that you have in your life. Because as we said in our previous videos, I have spoken a lot about different universal laws, that is the law of mentalism, as within, as without, and all is mind. It is all dependent on what is there in your mind. If you want to know more about it, go and watch that video. But in this video, we'll be talking about a different universal law. This law is something that is so special that it stops you from getting into your newer reality, and it is so good in pulling you back into your older version, older life. So let's get straight into the video. First, we have to understand, what is this universal law? Is this something like a physical law that we read in physics? No, this is not a physical law. It is not something that we could find on physics textbooks, on science textbooks. But this law applies, and you will realize it once I start explaining how this works and how this applies to you in everyday life. So let's first start with, why do you want to change? And we might have discussed this in the previous videos. It is because you are not feeling good right now, and the way you feel right now is not something that you are desired of, and you want to get rid of the feeling that you have right now. So what your mind does is it finds situations, experiences, people, and it tells you that if you have these things, essentially these things will make you feel different about yourself, so that this older feeling, this older frequency gets rid of you, and you can have a newer feeling, a newer frequency that is more exciting and interesting. And I've also spoken about the older version and the newer version, how this older version entity clings on to you, so that this older frequency is so hard for you to get rid of. And in that same video, I have mentioned one law, that is magnify and maintain. And I've also told that in the upcoming videos, I'll be talking about it. So this video is going to be about that. So why do you want to change? Is that simple, that you want to change the way you feel right now, and you look out for things that essentially will make you feel better or make you feel different than you feel right now. But once you understand this one universal law, you will be like, you are doing the entire process wrong. This entire process of wanting something and this urge of needing something so that you feel different within you, and you are keeping your internal feelings, and this internal feeling is dependent on something that is external, then this entire scheme, it becomes all messed up and it doesn't work out, because as we have discussed, as within, as without, it all starts within. So you have to feel and be the way you want to be, and technically all the things will be added on to you. But we are not going to talk about it. We are going to talk about the magnify and maintaining aspect of universe. So let's take an example. Let's say that you are having a bad day. You were late to office, late to work, late to school or college or anything, and you feel like this day is bad. This day is very bad. Once you are getting into this frequency, once you're getting into this mindset, you might be aware that this frequency gets stronger. This magnifies, which means you will find more and more amount of experiences that ensures that whatever you feel is right. So you will get more experiences that will make you feel bad, which magnifies the frequency that is within. And at the end of the day, you will be like, this is the bad and the worst day of my life. But it all started with this one frequency, one thought in your mind, in your head, that this day, today is bad. And technically it is like whatever frequency it is there, this universe magnifies. So let's also focus on let's take another example. You might be thinking about something from your past. Okay, let's categorize that into two aspects. Let's say you are thinking about something that is good from your past and something that is not good, that is bad from your past. And you will be noticing this, that once you start thinking about something good, you will feel better, you will feel good about yourself. And once you do this, some way or the other, you might also get different experiences that had similar feelings. That is, you will also get different memories that made you feel good, right? So once you get into the opposite side, once you start thinking of something that happened in a bad way that made you feel bad, let's say a traumatic event, you will feel that that is a trigger that will be triggering all the other aspects in your life that made you feel the same way. That is, it magnifies the negative feeling, the bad feeling that you have in your mind right now. So simply we can say that it is exponential, that it all starts with simple thought in your mind. And we as humans have this duality nature, but there is no duality, and we can get into it. So in Advaita Vedanta, it is said that, the non-duality is what Brahman is, the singularity is Brahman, the ultimate absolute reality, and it is us humans, because of our polar nature, our dual nature, we have this thing called as good and bad, good feeling, bad feeling, happiness, sadness, pain, and something that is good, pain and bliss, and all these things are created by humans. But ultimately in Brahman, all these things does not exist. So this duality does not exist. But we are humans, we have this polarity nature, this opposites nature. So whatever we focus on, whatever we give attention to, it magnifies. And it is also very important to keep this in mind, that your attention is simply a direction towards something where you direct your energy to. Your attention is simply directing your energy towards something. So wherever you give your energy to, wherever you give your attention to, it grows. Okay. So now we have discussed the magnifying aspect, and it is simple. This happens all the time, and just like I have discussed two examples, if you sit down and if you notice, you might find more examples that is going to prove that this is right. Whenever I feel something and I'm not aware of it, this mind and this universe tends to give me more of it. It magnifies that feeling. Now you are done with this magnifying aspect. But what is maintained? Why does this universe wants to maintain the feeling that you have right now? It's very simple. Universe functions in equilibrium. This universe wants equilibrium. That is, it does not want any vital or big change, fluctuation in this frequency, in this energy that you are emitting at any particular point of time. So it wants equilibrium. And what does that do for it to ensure this equilibrium in its nature is simply, it tries to maintain the frequency that you are at any particular point of time. Okay. So let's say you had a very bad day, and next day you are like, okay, yesterday was a bad day, but today I'm going to have a very good day. You are just telling this to yourself. But most of the time you might end up having another bad day. And this is like the next day that you thought that you're going to have a good day, something slightly bad might have happened, and you'll be pulled back into this older frequency where you'll be like, no, I'm just fooling myself. I had a bad day yesterday. This is going to be worse. I don't know why this always happens to me. And you get into this victim mentality, this mentality where, you feel like you don't have control over your life and everything happens bad to you. And of course, that is going to be your reality. Whatever you have within is going to be without. Whatever you believe is going to be the reality that you live currently. So this is like the frequency that you had on the bad day. And when you had this mentality that, no, I'm going to have a good day, this existing frequency, this entity will try its best to sustain, to survive. So it will bring on some experience, something from this external world, so that you will be going back to that older frequency, older feeling that you have in your mind, so that you give it the attention. And once you give it attention, you give it energy. Once you give it energy, it sustains, it survives. and it gets stronger, it magnifies. And that is there in every aspect of life. Let's say you want to change something in your life, you want to change yourself, you want to get better, you want to work out, you want to do something in your life, you want to change the way you are at your in your life right now, and you took this decision. You are like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to change. Some way or the other, you find yourself in a situation where everything starts getting worse. Everything starts getting worse. Once you decide that you're going to change, you're going to get better, and you will be like, just now I have decided to get better, but everything around me starts to crumble, starts to get worse. Why is this happening? Maybe I'm not meant to do these things, so maybe I deserve bad things, or maybe I deserve to stay the way I was, and I'm going to go back into that older frequency. And exactly, so this happens every time. And I want to mention another thing, that why this happens, why this this magnifying and maintaining aspect of universe is so strong, that and why is it so hard for us to get out of this law, and to use this law to our favor, to use this law so that it serves us. It is very difficult once we are actually thinking in a one-dimensional way, whereas we just think that I have to do certain things differently so that some things happens in a different way so that my life entirely changes. No, it is all the frequency game. It is all the different frequencies that exist. That is all that rules your life. So once you are like this person who wants to change certain things in their life, but you are just focused on doing things differently, that is, you are just focusing on the physical plane. Once you are just focusing on the physical plane, the upper planes, the more stronger planes, that is the mental plane and the spiritual plane, will have its influence, and you cannot outrun or outperform the mental and the spiritual planes, because these two are essentially stronger. That is a law, that is a principle. You can't outrun or outperform a principle. So you might get this into your head, that okay, that is the reason why no matter what I tried doing, something that I wanted to change didn't change at the end of the day, because it didn't change in your mind, it didn't change mentally. You are just like, okay, I'll do certain things differently so that these things might change. But this law of magnify and maintain, and this different planes of existence in this universe, is going to pull you back into that older frequency. Let's discuss more about this spiritual plane, this mental plane and physical plane in detail right now, because I want to give you a wholesome answer, and answer that contains everything, and I want you guys to process all of these things on your own. The reason being that no matter how many books you read, no matter how many videos you watch, people will always give you direct solutions that worked for them. At least it looks like that works for them. But at some point you will be like, no, this is not something that is going to work for me, because you have a totally different life. You had totally different experiences in your life, so that you should have a very unique solution to you. And you'll be like, okay, these solutions works for those people, but it is not working for me. And you'll get into this negative and bad mentality where you keep questioning yourself. But no, you need wisdom, you need knowledge. That is what Advaita Vedanta says, Shankaracharya says, that you need vidya, that is knowledge, wisdom. And this knowledge will take away the ignorance, and then you will see the reality with your own eyes, in your own way. You have your own solution, right? So now let's talk about this spiritual plane, mental plane and physical plane. So physical plane is anything that you see, anything that you do, and it is very simple. I have also discussed this in my previous videos. So physical plane always is controlled by mental plane. Let's take a very, very small example. If you are someone who wanted to go to gym regularly, and you wanted to have a dream physique, you might end up quitting gym after 1 month, 2 months or 3 months, and then you will be like, no, I don't feel like I should be going and stuff like that. It was because you are not the person you want to be in your mind. That is in the mental plane. And if you are not the person who you want to be in the mental plane, then of course this mental plane will rule no matter what you do in the physical plane. And that is the reason why no matter what you do, maybe towards a person, towards something, you feel like nothing changes. So doing is not the most important thing. That is, being is the most important thing in the mental plane. what is the spiritual plane? And spiritual plane is not something that we need to be discussing about, because in spiritual plane everything is one. There is this law of oneness, and you are one with all, that is everyone, everything that you see. And it can be proved, it can be justified with quantum physics, quantum mechanics, where you get into the lowest and quantum level. You take one atom, the electrons in an atom, the behavior of it, you will come to a realization that everything is one, and whatever you see is Maya, as mentioned in Advaita Vedanta. But we don't want to get into that spiritual plane. And I just want to get into this mental and physical plane. The reason being, once you understand this mental plane and this physical plane, you'll be able to transform your entire reality the way you want it to be. You can transfer this entire experience that you have about life, the experience and the encounters that you have with other people, with other things, with other beings. So first is this mental plane rules the physical plane, and whatever you want to change it first in your mind. You have to be the person that you want to be in order for you to do the things that you need to be doing. It's not like you should be doing things so that you will be the person you want to be. It doesn't work that way. So the hierarchy is this mental plane, and then comes the physical plane. So now I hope so this might have had a light bulb moment in your mind, where you'll be like, oh, this is the reason why I was not able to change. It is because of this magnifying and maintaining nature of this universe. And that's basically simply because of the equilibrium that has to be maintained by the universe, which actually makes sense. That is logical. And the other thing that you wanted to see is this different planes of existence: physical plane, mental plane, and spiritual plane. And now you'll be understanding why no matter what you do in this physical plane, there is no change, because there is no change in the mental plane that is going to rule the physical plane, right? And I want to talk about one last thing in this video, that is the manifestation thing. Okay, this manifestation is, in this current scenario, manifestation is a business. Okay, I just want to get straight into the point. No matter who you see, no matter what they say, let's say they're asking you to affirm things, do affirmations, do a lot of other things, a lot of inner work, repeat the life and these affirmations 10 times, 3, 6, 9 times, 100 times, and this 11 thing where you ask something during 11 it will happen. All these things are half-truths. All these people in this manifestation industry do not get into the actual meaning, because if they give you the actual meaning, you might not need them in the future. And if you do not need them, if you are not dependent on them in the future, then it is very evident that they will run out of business, they will run out of money. That is the reason why they will give you something that works partially, but they won't give you something that works, that changes you from within, so that you don't need anybody, and you don't need anybody to live the life that you always dream of. And I came across this same scenario, so that I don't want you guys to get into that. You guys to just believe that repeating some things 3, 6, 9 times is going to change your life. No, get this straight into your head. What is manifestation is simply that manifestation is self-mastery. Successful manifestation is a result of self-mastery. Get that straight into your head. Self-mastery is not simple, is not easy. It takes time, it takes a lot of knowledge, so that you will be able to change from within, and once you change within, everything will change without. Okay, just wanted to mention this. And always keep in mind the 2 M's of the universe, that is magnify and maintain, and also keep in mind the unified version of the universe, the 3 planes of existence, that is spiritual plane, mental plane, and physical plane. And once you master these planes, this universe and this reality will turn the way you want it to be. I hope so this video has added some value, and until I see you in the next video, bye.